A very good morning to all you wonderful ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 8th episode of Lionsworld Weekly, where we bring you business insights. My name is Tian Xiang, and I will be your host this morning. And as always, with me is my speaker, Mr. John Tan. It's been a while since we started this series, and let me tell you, it's been an absolute pleasure. It has been so sorry, a bit of technical difficulties. Now, before we begin, please do remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe so that you can receive regular notifications on our future episodes. Today, we will speak about the stock market in general. In previous weeks, we did touch on this topic very, very briefly, and to our surprise, we received quite a few questions after the show, asking if we have more knowledge regarding this. Now that the stock market does seem to be on the rise, although at least for the time being, many of our viewers asked if Mr. Tan had any insight on the future of the stock market and how exactly to invest if he does know anything about this, especially with COVID-19 on the rise yet again. So, Mr. Tan, what do you have to say about this?
All right. Before, I hope all of you do not think I'm now here to recommend you what to buy and what to sell. But before we start to the topics of looking at method of investment, investing in share market or any equity products, it is in everybody's mind nowadays. But why suddenly everybody think about all this? It's because you every day seeing news report the share market is keep going up and keep going up, break record. And many small investors, they are very careful. They have not do anything about share market for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. Every time when the market go up, they say, oh, careful. Again, it go up, careful. There will be a point you very regret you are not in the market. And this type of regret is getting deeper and deeper in more people's mind. One day, you can't control yourself. You say, must go in. That's the time market want to crash. The sideways liquidity in the equity market is a lot. This a lot is not by rich people. This a lot is by all of you. Must understand, if 10 million people throw in 10,000 each, there's a huge amount. So that is the supporting market. Keep going up. But I have to, before I maybe recommend a few ways, I have to clear to you, investing in equity market is gamble. And gamble usually lead to not good consequence. I want to share a story with you. I think it's about 10 or 15 years ago when Singapore casino just opened. That year, on the Chinese New Year, well, as usual, company go on off day. Then when the Chinese Year opened, first day when you open, one of staff come to me and say, boss, I want to design. He give me a letter. I asked him why. He said, New Year Eve, I went to the casino. I win 40,000. No? And from his opinion, he said, if you give me times and focus, whole day in the casino, patient, wait for chance, and I should win the money. So he think that should be the path for life and quick money that he can make. So he want to resign and full-time in casino. I have nothing to say, accepted his resignations. Less than a month, he started looking for jobs. 30, 40 years ago, I meet people who are involved in horse racings, betting every Saturday, Sunday. He do to the extent that he go to the race course early in the morning just to see the training of the horse and also check what pass out of the horse, what color, what smell, to determine whether he will win this horse will win on this Saturday, Sunday. He still lost a lot of money. So do not believe you know a lot about share market. You know a lot about their company. You know the company in and out. You know how to analyze and so on. What technical charts list, all these people tell you that according to the charts, 20-day average, 40-day average. Don't believe in all this. Share market is a gamble. It is a manipulated market. But because of the present low interest rate, you felt that I put money in the bank, it's not going to earn anything. So everybody thinks so. And then continue to, then they will look for opportunity to invest. I met a lot of wealth management people. Very young, fresh graduate. They carry a lot of things to show me. Look, according to our analyst charts, oh, this will go up, that will go up. Historical. Then I look at him. The question I ask him is, how much money you have? It seems to be not so good yourself managing the wealth. That's why you are not so rich. It's a fortune teller. Go there, give you phone number, say that this is Stephanie sure strike 4D. And you look at him, he never struck before in his life. You are depending on a completely inexperienced fresh graduate, attend a few courses to advise you how to manage your wealth. My God, I wish you good luck. But I cannot say you should rule out to manage your wealth by investing it wisely. I will presume most of you are not heavy gambler. You are just prepared to invest maybe 50,000, 100,000 the max to just try your luck to see whether can you win money and get some return. Now, of course, there is some basic point that you can do it. you must really be living in some knowing principle. Since you don't have powerful insider informations, there's a lot of terminology in the share market what called D-date, due date, and all kind of date, and then how liquidities, calculations, training block, and all this. But all this is out of your reach. Just forget about it. When you read a newspaper, the news is too late. So how are you going to do something to invest in share market in case you 100% must invest in share market? Then I give you a few methods. First, once you gamble in share market, you tend to lose your focus on your actual job. You may lose a career altogether. So try not to. Try not to affect your normal life. So what you can do, since you want to invest, you only have one choice as a small investor. Go for strong company. What is strong company? Company who have rich of cash. Don't try to believe in those companies who have very heavy borrowings, because they are the one who cannot stand any storm. Not many companies like SIA is so lucky that you call it cannot afford to go down. So if a company have a lot of gearing, it's not your choice. You wish that the company have good cash flow. Who have good cash flow? Take out their last year balance sheet, have a look how much cash they are holding versus the liability that they have. Take a look. Okay, now you understand that, for example, if you wanted to invest in DBS Bank, it's very expensive share. Our market, Singapore market, are not like US. You can buy one share. You most probably have to buy 1,000 or a few hundred share at one lot. You have to use, since you are a small investor, called accumulate buying. You don't care whether the share price go up or share price go down. You just fix a time every month or every 3 months. You buy one lot, you buy one lot, you buy one lot. Hopefully until the day you jump. Of course, as a long-term accumulate investor, you also must have some return when you're holding their share. So check out their dividend pattern. Would they usually declare dividends every year? So first point, good cash position. Second point, have a habit of declare dividends. You're not surprised to find some company 50 years never declare even 1 cent of dividend despite they earn money. And you can forget about them, because to you it's like you're buying something, there's no return at all. Then you hold for 20 years, you lost money even you go up. So good cash flow, good dividend return. There's something that you have to look for. No, every day go and read newspaper to see, to hear the news. Oh, this company now very prosper. Then you quickly jump in. You jump in, you cannot jump out, then how? Equity market at the present moment. I tell you something a few days ago. People ask me about Bitcoin. I said basically, first of all, Bitcoin don't have balance sheet. It's a complete manipulating equity products. Then they ask me, how come Dow Jones US exchange wanted to list them for so-called future products or something like that? This type of reputable exchange, they should think that Bitcoin is a stable. Then they will launch. I said no. Must understand what is called exchange. Exchange benefiting from trading. As long as you something have trading, they can earn a commission. They have to love it. They are not the one who ensure the investor interest is protected. They are the one who ensure they can make profit. Because the complete baseless community products is 100% manipulations. But because of the size, because of the potential earning from the trading of Bitcoin, not many people were willing to sacrifice this profit potential. So Bitcoin still survive. You just take a day for people to wake up. Wake up. I'm not you and me. Wake up is those government. Then Bitcoin is gone. When it's gone, it comes to zero. If you are not a high roller gambler, please don't touch. It's a very high risk equity products. Okay, so investing in share as a small timer, you should try to be conservative. You buy at all time, mean you buy, let's say you aim at one counter who are cash rich, who are dividend habit is there. You buy to keep, you buy it by your ability and affordability to loss. So you buy bit by bit, by month, by quarter, or by year. So after some time, you will have a little bit substantial holding on this counter. There is a safer way because you can ignore the market go up or down. Because when the market crash, you still keep buying. Because that is your affordability. Let's say you can afford 3,000 per quarter. Then you look, 3,000, what can I buy? And you keep buying the same counter. Again and again, either by month or by quarter or by half yearly or by yearly. So you buy, you average your price either down or up. And then at the end of the day, you will be potentially earning some difference in price. But along the way, you make sure you got some return. That is a safer and conservative way for a small timer investor. But of course, if you are a very, very high risk taker, let's say you can afford to lose 50,000 in one go, you can gamble like what casino? You go to casino and then I bet big, it come out small. Never mind, I lost the money. If you are this type of investor, then you can go further to invest in higher risk stock. Mean at this time, you just purely betting on the share price go up or share price go down. Then I would suggest you to go and play so-called the index future. Well, I think the share market will go down. I short the share index. Wow, you think the share market will go up? You long the share market index. It's like go to casino, buy big and small. Well, 50% chance. But of course, go against you lost all. Equity market at present is 100% overvalued. And uncertainty on the whole share market, it depends on the world economies. Very high risk. You don't know whether there's a chance for a war. You don't know accidentally there's some affairs going to come out. You are not sure about how the COVID-19 is going to develop. Who believe a development in India can be developed until this stage? And accidentally, but I would say you should thanks to the internet industry now that even you are in Singapore, you can buy China share. Don't underestimate China share. Don't underestimate China banking share. They have not fully explored the fee-based income in China bank. Try to think this way. If they say, I'm going to increase to charge 5 cents, 50 cents more on every ATM transaction, the bank daily income is going to increase by B. That's the power. They will never bankrupt. They will never go down. They just have to change from a traditional bank. They are still very conservative. They're very traditional. They're still using the so-called spread of interest to earn money. But now the bank, in fact, are converting from interest income to fee income. If they increase their fee-based income, you will be worried how much you earn. And now they are still very cheap. But you have to accumulate buying. Count how much money you want, you affordable to lose per month, and use the money to limit, go and buy your potential stock. Then you have a high chance not to classify yourself as a gambler. But when you buy already, you don't every day go and check the price. You still need to carry on your life as normal. If you realize that every day you are checking the price, I advise you quickly get out of the market and back to yourself, because you should not disturb your life like this. Okay, I invite for question.
So we do have a few questions on the board. Miss Jessica asks a very interesting question actually. Why does the share price of a certain company drop when news comes out for that particular share? One more recent case study, of course, is the Singapore Press Holdings, when they decided that they will now be a non-profit company. Their share almost immediately fell by more than 30 cents. So what is the reason for this?
I just say in a few minutes ago, when the news is out, the news is being factored in. Mean when you hear the news, let's say it's a good news or whatever. In fact, the price is already factored in. So there's nothing great. SPH case is a very special case. The restructuring of their business portfolio have significant intention. I cannot, and I should reserve my comment on what is the real intention behind to structure this. I believe the whole plan is take out the lost item and allow SPH to return to profitability. That is the real intention. But is it true? Is it false? Sorry, I'm not on the board. I've never heard your opinion on discussing this. So when you hear a news in newspaper, even if it's a good news, in fact, the good news is very priced in. Okay? Remember this. Next question.
Okay, so what Miss Jane asked, what do you think about the future stock market, especially with the whole COVID-19 once again being on the rise? Do you think it's more optimistic or pessimistic?
If you're asking question in this way, you should ask how is the world economy potentially going to be. I say this year, okay, 2020 and 2021 economies are survived on all the government in the world pumping in money to allow the economies looks okay. But regardless how strong the government is, their money also need to have income. These 2 years will back out all the ability of the government to continue to do that. The real impact will come in at 2023, 2022, when the government stop pumping in money. And then you ask me, why the government don't keep pumping money? Please be understanding. Government spend money, need income. It's not a matter of printing money and spend. So, the world economies will suffer. It should suffer. Then, there's nothing good for share market. Somehow, share market had to be returned back to fundamental. Next question.
We do have one last question. Based on your closing statements in your speech just now. So personally, you do recommend long-term investment over buying and selling daily on a personal level?
Repeat the question.
So personally, you recommend long-term investment, which is what you said just now, purchasing stocks and shares in order to get dividends, or day trading, aka buying and selling the shares?
I repeat myself. Share market is a casino. If you wanted to do a method of hit and run, then you do day trading. You buy up, you buy down. But then you have to recognize that this action of yourself is like go to casino, you buy big and buy small. I did not encourage gamble. But I know the feeling of yourself that you don't buy some share, you feel that you are very sorry for yourself. Then I say, accumulate buying in small portion of your asset and slowly accumulate and wait for the chance. So select a good company to invest. Select a good company to invest. Don't select the whole stock exchange. One or two counters, every month you buy a bit, you buy a bit, you buy a bit, you buy a bit. You don't care the share price go up, go down. Or you like to buy gold, you can slowly buy. This month I buy 10 gram, next month I buy another 10 gram, another month I buy 10 gram. That's how can you do accumulate buying investment. But of course, you have hell a lot of money, you want to play big and small, please go ahead. But recognize that is gamble. Next question. Do I have?
Well, that is our last question on the board. So just to summarize what we went through today, when you're selecting a company to purchase shares in and you're doing some research on them, please try to select those that are more cash rich and have a more healthy dividend habit. Buy only what you can afford. Don't buy too much. Okay. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us. Thank you, Mr. Tan, for your time. And once again, have everybody, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone.